the use of waiting? Come down here now. If you never loved art, we're gonna show you how. And to help you out, we've got art. You gotta have art. You gotta have art. Yeah!
Play one more time.
Look, we got dope in cars, blowing bags. My Adidas top 10, hook cut the tags. We got dough in walls, coke and cash. Pay the cab driver after just to hold the mag. This is Detroit where your J's get snatched. BMF Southwest where they raise the match. This the birthplace of ballin', all praise to that. Talking raw and U-Hauls, big K's and crack. I'm from Detroit, big city of dreams. With my dogs on road, the bras pop beans. Set them all down clothes and gon' dry clean. Fashion show out on the block, I'm on my day. Coupe on 19, all set the new vet through the city streets. Me and this XP, trying to build an empire off of cash and K's.
Propane called me one day and was like, I got an idea. You and Nick Speed need to do this album called Jail Bars. That was the name of it. He called it Jail Bars. And no disrespect to Propane, because that's my dude, and I really appreciate everything Propane did. But I just didn't feel that Jail Bars was what I was trying to illustrate.
And Jermaine Propane, who actually is from Detroit, but he lives in Atlanta now, and he works real closely with Future, Rocco, free bands and stuff like that. And he had just got a live mixtapes deal. He suggested that, you know, Seven and I work together. And we were like, oh, we were already gonna work together anyway and make something. So I guess it's just time to do it now. So that's basically how A.R.T came together. And you know it's Detroit City Blues.
Detroit City Blues, that's the name of the song? That's the name of the sample?
That's the name of the original.
That's what we call it. That's what we call it.
I didn't want to put Jail Bars out there, so I probably changed the direction on my own, knowing, you know what I'm saying, that Propane probably was gonna get upset with me. My fault, bro. But you know what I'm saying, I just felt like I wanted to illustrate something to the world different, and Nick Speed was the perfect person to do that. So when Propane offered that suggestion of me going to Nick Speed and made the conference call, it was like, this was something that was meant to be.
So that was the original idea, and we was gonna call it Jail Bars. But then, you know, we ended up making a brand new song called Eyewitness, which is the first track on the album. And, you know, he felt like he had discussed his jail experience, you know, enough with that, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, we still might do Jail Bars as a project, you know, but that was kind of like the original concept. And then from there, we just started getting creative.
Nick Speed is a fucking genius. He been knew what he was doing. They will never understand what I witnessed. They will never understand what I witnessed. They will never understand what I witnessed.
His wife was like, I know this is gonna be a good album because of the questions that you asked him. And the questions I was asking was like, what do you wanna talk about on this album? What haven't you talked about? You know, I wanted Seven to really do what he already does and just let my production just be part of the concept of the project. And the project was also like looking at music as art. You know, he came up with all relative things, and that kind of described all the words coming together, being relative to each other, and, you know, the initials stood for art.
I never had anybody who asked me up front, like, what kind of album you want to make? What do you want to do? When he asked me that, I came up with all these different theories, like, I want to make a Jay-Z Reasonable Doubt first album. I want people to hear like Emcee, Music to Drive By, and all these different albums that I thought was classic, people's first albums. I just wanted to have a classic first album, because before that, anything that I did before art was not a full representation of what I did. It wasn't a real album my music. It was me mixed with somebody else, and it was situations that I had to promote. So to me, Art is my first album. It's like a baby to me, you know what I'm saying?
Even though some of the music and some of the words that he's saying is kind of harsh and, you know, real street, it's still like, I feel like a story that people can relate to. Here's a guy who, you know, came from nothing, came from 7 Mile, came from the gutter, ended up going to jail for years and years. Nobody thought he would make it. Recorded his first music in jail. And, you know, by the time he came out, he's made a name for himself, you know, amongst just really the world, you know. So 7 is definitely a rap animal. That's another reason I work with him, because I felt like a lot of people weren't familiar with his ability. So I wanted to really showcase that, you know, over different types of production and challenging production, like, and then helping them reach new audiences, such as like using Fiona Apple on Nothing Compares, you know.
Now, this is part of the ritual. We call this mafia juice. That's why I turn it backwards so you can't see what the front of it is.
Right. Mafia juice. Mix it with something might be mob boss.
Right, power pack. Hey man, documentary, music. I guarantee you that all the greats, sat in their car, smoked marijuana, and created.
Yeah.
Right, and then they went in their studio, high off marijuana, and produced.
Yeah.
When he asked me what kind of album I wanted to make, I also said like Marvin Gaye, the album that he did, Hear My Dear, but I told him that, you know what I'm saying, and like Rakim's Paid in Full. And it's like he combined all of these elements in one thing for me, with beats, with different sounds that drove me. I mean, that basically was all the influences, other than Nick Speed and other Detroit rappers, of course, and our culture. But as far as musically, it was the things that he asked me, and we drew from them things. Like I say, Marvin Gaye, Spice One, Jay-Z, Danny Brown, G-Unit, you know what I'm saying? It was a plethora of different things that we went through to build that album. And I just felt like creatively, he let me do exactly what I wanted to do.
So when I made 7's album, I was really fresh off of the Stretch Money album. And it was like, you know, some things, I don't even think Stretch's album was out yet when we started working on this. So I knew that, you know, this was gonna be my follow-up project to that. So I wanted to kind of almost do opposite of what I did on there, because I felt like Stretch's album was kind of like, you know, super hip hop, kind of, you know, still street, but with a street artist on it.
I like this shit better than my actual.
It feel better.
It's more authentic. That's what I was telling you. And that's what I was just saying about your
right
shit.
here. You know what I'm saying?
You know, with 7, I wanted to use more 808s, more Brazilian jazz, like Fiona Apple alternative music. Electronic music with Eyewitness, you know, songs, Sunshine, you know, like I kind of had a specific like sound in my mind or whatever for the hook. So we was like, we didn't want to go with like the obvious people that we could have definitely went to. So
with Art, it was so many different songs that related and addressed different. No song on there is the same, no song sounds the same, and no song addresses. It's 10 songs and they all address different topics. So I got something on there for the guys in the street, I got something on there for the guys in prison, I got something on there for the guys in relationships, I got something on there for the straight hip hop fans, I got something for the electronic fans, everything. Because I feel like me as an artist, I'm not just a rapper, I'm like, I want to be. I'm not saying, maybe at this point I'm just a rapper, but what I aspire to be is an artist. I want to be an overall artist and use hip hop as the vehicle that I express myself.
This
this ain't even the final version yet.
Right.
But this is like the first one we did.
You see what I'm saying? That's why I
yeah.
needed. That's why I was telling him and telling you too. Let him do what he do. Cause I'd have been in there, I'd be like, oh no, don't echo my voice and don't do this. Let him do what he do, so I can just come in and hear it at the end. That way.
Right.
And then, you know, Seven, he like did the research on like everything I sampled because I pretty much made all the beats in front of him. So, you know, he like had a chance to really look up a lot of the tracks and get an idea what the original songs was talking about. He like really did his research, so I can appreciate that.
I try to be totally different from what anybody heard. I'm from Detroit, and I feel like if you're from Detroit, your music is gonna speak that when you speak. Nick Speed will let you do everything that you want to do, but still end up doing it the way that he envisioned it from the beginning, because he leads you into your mindset of what you want to do, but still put it creatively in here. So I guess the biggest thing, I guess the best memory of working on art was just working directly with Nick Speed. I didn't have to get the track and then do it over here at somebody else's studio. I was working directly with Nick Speed at Nick Speed Studios.
We actually recorded that hip hop album in a techno building, in the techno museum at Submerge, Underground Resistance. So we recorded that in the House of Techno, actually. Shout out to Mad Mike, Korn, everybody over there, Ray. You know, we was all just, you know, linking up. But like I said, the thing that I remember the most is probably the conversation before we made any music for this. And then I remember, you know, just always, you know, we'd just go chill at the park and, you know, just sit in the truck and listen to the song or listen to different beats or whatever. We'd just get some fresh air, you know what I'm saying? Just chilling outside, looking at the whole hood, chilling at the park, you know, and soaking up their energy.
Stop at the light and flash my ice on a bitch. I swear to God, this is some wonderful shit. It was a beautiful day.
I remember going to Fiona Apple concert. You know, that was pretty crazy. You know, I was really feeling it. You know, I was really feeling the music, like when he laid down. You know, so what else, man? I remember like Guap Talk was like the first song that we actually recorded. So Guap Talk was supposed to be kind of like our Paid in Full. You know what I'm saying? I thought that drum line reminded me of like Paid in Full. So I was mentioning Paid in Full, like, yo, we got to do it like this. And then that's when he came with Guap Talk. If the motherfucking Guap could talk, I bet it sound like, you know.
I swear sometimes I think I'm fucking crazy, but Nick make me know I'm not.
My favorite quote of the whole album, like even on Guap Talk, he say, I'm in a residential, cranking out a residence, scraping residue in a bag for dead presidents. Like I thought that was just so like a reference to Rakim Paid in Full or that class of artists or whatever he probably grew up on. I felt like that had the influences that he grew up on, you know, and that I grew up on most definitely too. Because, you know, that reminds me of like something that could have been on Nas' first album or Jay-Z first album or even Snoop, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? It just captures like so much in that one line. So I thought that was really poetic of him to say.
It was beautiful. And mastering, we went through White Mike. That was suggested by Nick Speed, because I originally had suggested Solid Ride, because I had been dealing with them. And it wasn't no slight to Solid Ride. It was just like Nick knew that exactly his files, the way that he create his files, and the way he build them, White Mike knows exactly how to extend those files, put this where that is. So it's like, when you do a Nick Speed track, you can't just take it to know anybody and have it mixed and mastered, because that person probably not gonna understand the mathematics behind that Nick Speed track. And you need to have Nick Speed there when you master and mix it too, because the average person just ain't gonna have it. But again, we took us about a month and a half and we recorded it. I mean, we had it mixed and mastered with White Mike. Yep, I was nominated for Outstanding Hip Hop MC, and the song Nowhere was nominated for Outstanding Electronic Dance Recording with the Detroit Music Awards. That was so significant to me with that album, because before that, all the songs that I had made before this and being in Detroit and people know me from, I had never got no recognition from the Detroit Music Award for anything that I did. You know what I'm saying? And Nick Speed may have won awards before that, but this particular album, it was like, I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe that they was saying that these songs that we did that I didn't think was gonna go, I didn't think people was gonna respond to me that way. I knew Nick Speed's production was there. It was no question about the production. But as far as me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a Detroit rapper. People look at Detroit, we the bottom, they don't care about us, they don't give a crap about what we talking about. They figure like we all talking about drugs and dope and smacking niggas and doing all this, but with this album, I was trying to show them really what I can do. Seven can make music and write hooks. It's not the best album in the world to me as far as lyrically. Best album production-wise.
This song, my motherfucking wife had really pissed me off. But I probably was wrong, so you know how it is. We niggas. Let's go, man. Okay. And my life was feel so lonely, then you came and brought me home, so. Yeah, baby, be in my motherfucking.
You know, it's funny, I actually had like a goal of downloads. Like, I was like, all right, if we get like 30,000, we should be on tour. And that shit happened like the first day. So then I had to like rethink the plan, like, oh, all right, well,
Can you loop that part for me, Nick? Just that you ain't even gotta go back to the end of that first verse. Just loop it from the end of the hook to the end of the verse.
you know, like it just grew much faster than I even thought. So that's basically what I'm saying with that, is like, I didn't even expect so many people to get onto the album so fast. So some place called it a perfectly executed 10-track album. You know what I'm saying?
So you don't have to bang Detroit in everybody's face all the time, but of course we're gonna represent. That's why I got the song Detroit City Blues on the album featuring Guilty Simpson and Bizarre from D12, and that's, you know, partly due to Nick Speed too, because even though Guilty Simpson is my guy, like when you say Nick Speed's name and tell a guy you working on a project with Nick Speed, they respond Johnny on the spot. So shout out to Guilty Simpson and Bizarre, of course, for getting on the album. But that whole song, to me, we could have did a Detroit trap song. We could have did a Detroit gangster song, but the beat was like a Run DMC-ish type feel, because when we wear Adidas, we just took a picture with our Adidas. Like, to us, Run DMC was, YBR was our Run DMC coming up, you know what I'm saying? And the guys who emulated that was our Run DMC. So to me, that was my paying homage to that 80s era and to hip hop as a whole. We used the basic, simple format rap style to, you know, it wasn't over rapping. You know, sometimes I like to over rap. I love over rap. I can over rap on any song. But I feel like on that song, it was simple. It was about Detroit. Don't make it too gutter. Make it universal.
I think we got better, man. I think Seven got better. I think I got better. And you know, we can capture the moment. We got the energy right now. Like, so now we about to put it in the time capsule. So, you know, I think it's a great thing, man. I really like working with Seven, man. It's like he's one of my favorite collaborators for sure, because of just how great the songs came about. He's a real songwriter. He's real serious about his craft. I've seen that album in so many places. It was just crazy. So, you know, shout out to Seven, man, for working hard, man. You know what I'm saying? That's really all it takes, man. And all you're just showing is that all you need is beats and bars. You got a booth with some beats and some bars. You can create your own world from there.
Counting Frito chips, or what the lick it is, I'm hitting the switch, 365, I gotta make that flip. They got the jewels on, the minks. Yeah. But they got the Detroit baseball hats on. Doesn't this look familiar to you? Like, hold on, look at the shoes too. They got the sneakers on. Right. You did? With sweatpants. Yeah. Doesn't this look? Oh! When you turn it to the back though, you see them totally different outfits right there. See them sweaters right there was hot power. Right. But these look familiar right now in this era, right? These look like they swagging right now, right? It's not swag. Right. It's like Detroit style. Yeah. That's what we call it. Yeah. Styles. When Danny Brown say pound style, baby. Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to give y'all the next projects. That's what we call it A.R.T to get y'all ready for. But It's gonna be an entire different. Don't take everything you know about art and throw it out your mind. Throw it away. And then now, put everything you know about art back in your mind and understand that we're doing it back with Nick Speed. So A.R.T. 2 is what you can tentatively call the album right now, but it's coming very soon.
It's been like 2 years since we did the album. Back at it again. Probably get my dog K-John on there too. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be action-packed. It's gonna be a lot of energy.
The studio is sacred. You can't just do any kind of shit at the studio. Yeah. So you got to pull off. We go down here by the police station and do this shit. Right. We don't do it at the studio. We come, get that parking lot over there.
Don't turn here though.
Oh, right, because this is a one-way, isn't it, Nick?
Yes, it is.
Hey, thanks. Nick saves my life on a regular basis.
Please do not turn
Right,
here.
please don't.
Detroit is the lawless town.
Lawless, this rebel city right here. It's anarchy, dog. Just straight up anarchy. No one follows the rules.
Everybody knows how that's how it is, nigga.
Right. When you come to Detroit, whatever the rules are, just do the opposite and you might survive. Do the fucking opposite.
Look out for that brand new 7 The General A.R.T. 2, produced by Nick Speed.
We tentatively calling it Art 2 so you know what it's about. You dig? And make sure you go get that A.R.T. 1 free off live mixtapes. If you want it on iTunes or whatever, it's coming. And it's on there, but it's definitely coming on vinyl soon. So look out for it. By the time you see this, it'll be on vinyl. So look for that. And Nick Speed's probably gonna drop the instrumentals to that joint. So you make sure you look out for that too. You dig? But other than that, y'all just get at us, man. One love. 7 The General, baby. Nick Speed. It's coming soon.
Wouldn't even let me touch him. So fucking right, this motherfucker caused a riot in the car room. Sergeant said I stuck him, nigga. Good Chris Bird inside my cell. My bunkie number old as hell. He seen the board in some gazelles. I'm YSLing on a visit. Switch the frames out with my brother. Then come back with Buffy lenses, nigga. They called another DDO. Cause I keep on sending niggas to the store. They paying what they owe. Shout out my niggas on the road. And niggas doing life with no parole. This is child home music. Kinda shit you set a riot up to it. Contraband through it. Niggas set fire to the unit. Tell the warden 64's not moving. They better bring the shield. Lieutenant, there's some pills. My celly saying chill, but I'ma get it how I live. Nigga, I went to prison as a kid. Fuck the belly, I was raised inside the ribs. We upstate, we near the bridge. Snowbirds ride away from our crib.
Rolling. Shout out to my dude, Roast Spit, Burn Rubber, Royal Oak, Michigan. I just gotta say that. So in case this is ever aired, where this is ever aired at, I wanna shout out my dude, Roast Spit. Yo! Jiggity yo! Shit is perfect, son. Yo! We got dope in cars, blowing bags, my Adidas top 10, hook cut the tags.